Hi, welcome to another version of Jargon Slayer. Larry Smith here with you again today, and I'm going to talk about another piece of jargon that you hear often in the health district, and that is called, did you reboot your computer? And you're probably wondering, where does that term come from, and what does it really do? The rebooting the computer, most of you, I think, would hope it would mean something like this. Will just give the computer a good kick, and that's a short-term solution, but it doesn't fix long-term problems. What this term reboot comes from and where it originated was, you can see in this slide, and maybe you can see there's a guy there holding on to the straps on his boot, and he's pulling himself up in the air. Now, when you're as big as I am, that doesn't work too well, but maybe your lighter folks would be able to do that. And this is called lifting yourself up by your bootstraps. And that's where the term reboot or booting a computer comes from. And what it really is that the central processing computer or unit in the computer has no idea what it's connected to, so there has to be some method on the motherboard that the CPU is on to tell it where the disk drive is, where the keyboard is, whether it's got a mouse, the display, and all of that. And that is what the job is of the bootstrap loader. So when you first power on your PC, or when you reboot your PC, what happens is the bootstrap loader gets reinitialized, and it starts cleaning up everything in the computer and then tells the CPU how to talk to all of it. So reboot is just a way to refresh everything on the computer motherboard and in registries and all that stuff, so that your computer actually has a fresh start. And often when somebody calls with a problem, some piece of code got in error on your computer and it's fouling up this. So a reboot just cleans the computer up and lets it start fresh. That's where the term reboot comes from. Well, today I'm really excited to have with us Kim Kramars, and she's with the finance group, accounting department upstairs. And one thing you want to know about our finance group that is unusual from other organizations I've been around is most of them are always smiling. And that should be a good sign when the accounting group's smiling. So Kim's here because of a recent survey that you all took that detailed some concerns about administration, about payroll in particular, and Kim's going to talk about that a little bit. So welcome, Kim. Thanks for coming to the show today.
Thank you, Larry. Thanks for the opportunity to be here.
You're welcome. And so can you tell me what the survey indicated was an issue with payroll?
Actually, yes, it was an administration survey, customer service, and in our particular area for finance, it was identified that payroll, there was some concerns with privacy and confidentiality in the distribution of the earnings statements. Okay,
so the paper earnings statement was a problem, a concern about wrong people seeing it. So exactly. How are you going to address that issue?
Well, we're going to utilize SharePoint and use the access through our computer now, so rather than distribute paper earnings statements.
Okay, great. So I think it's a good time then to give a little demo of how to access this information with SharePoint. Okay. So now if you look over there, Spokane Regional Health District no longer generates earnings statements or remittance advices for payroll checks unless unusual circumstances occur. So for most employees, you'll need to find out information about deductions and other payroll items affecting your paycheck by going onto the SharePoint site on the Health District servers. First thing you have to know and remember is you cannot use Google Chrome, nor can you use Mozilla Firefox. If you use either one of those, you will not see your pay data. So we have to use Internet Explorer, and I'm going to open Internet Explorer and then click on a blank page, blank tab to bring up a page. The site is initials that stand for Spokane Regional Health District SharePoint, so SRHD SP, and those can be either lower or uppercase, doesn't matter. Press the Enter key, and if you've not been on this site before, it will then take maybe 30 to 40 seconds to load the first time. After that, it should come up very quickly. When you do log in, over here on the right, you'll see that it has your user ID. That's how it knows what information to get for your payroll information. To get to your payroll information, on the left, we want to go to the tab that says Business Portal. And on the Business Portal, you'll see, in my case, I have a lot of items because I have pretty much unrestricted access to SharePoint. But most users won't see this extensive list, but every user will see Employee Center. So you click Employee Center, and when it comes up, it brings up this sub-menu on the left. And these are all things that have to do generally with the Employee Center. And the profile is about you and your dependents and all those things. You can look at that when you want. And benefits are the differences between, or not the differences, but the amount of money paid for different benefits by the agency and that are also deducted from your check. What this subject is about, though, is seeing what each individual paycheck information is about. So we're going to click Pay, and when we click Pay, it will bring up all your paychecks starting the most current and going back in time to when this first started, which was January of 2009. So you can pick any paycheck during that period, and by clicking on it on the right pane over here, it will show you all the check detail. If you want to, you can see it changes very fast. If you need to, print a hard copy of this information, say for a bank loan or something. You go here to this little click area. It says Print Paycheck, and you just print on it. And then what it will do is ask you which printer of all of the printers that are currently installed on your PC, and you can pick out one and you hit print. I'm just going to cancel here. So that is how you see all the information about your earnings and deductions on every paycheck since January 2009. When you're done, click SRHD, which will clear your information off the screen. However, people could still click Employee Center, get back to it. So I recommend that you go up here and just shut down SharePoint, and that way you won't be displaying your information to the public. If you walk away from your desk for any length of time, I suggest you lock your desktop up. You can do that by doing Control-Alt-Delete on the keyboard, and then lock this computer, and then nobody will be able to get on it without your password. Anyway, today's demo is over. You please call me if you have any questions, or you can call Bonnie or Cliff. Thanks. Well, that's your demo, and that will be included in an extra link in the email about the video, so you can just play the demo anytime you want. It will be in a higher quality, although it's really good quality looking at it right now on the video. And I apologize, Sanaji, because I threw him a loop. I got into the demo a little earlier than I expected. Anyway, with that finished, I was going to ask him now, who will not benefit or who will not be able to use the electronic or the SharePoint way of accessing their payroll?
Well, we do have a few intermittent and temporary staff. Those are employees who do not have SRHD login and passwords. So anyone who does not have that login and password will not be able to access their earnings statement electronically.
Okay, great. And now, people who still need a paycheck printed for whatever reason, is it true that they will no longer get the earnings portion attached to the check?
That's correct. Employees will continue to receive their paper paycheck, those that have not elected direct deposit or are not eligible for direct deposit. However, they can access SharePoint and print their own earnings statement if they need that.
Okay, great. And besides the security issue that is prompting this, what other savings to the organization are occurring?
We'll save an immense amount of time in the sorting and distribution of the paychecks every pay period, as well as less paper printing, less wear and tear on our printers, and less support staff that we would need to maintain that equipment.
Okay, great. And can you tell me when this is being implemented?
Yes, we are so confident everything will go well and everyone will be easily and readily accessible to the information that Friday the 13th of May we will be, you will not receive a paper earnings statement.
Oh, great. So that means that this pay period, Friday, is that the end of this pay period? I think, yes.
That's correct.
That one will be the last one the paper's distributed with the earnings statements.
That's correct.
Okay, so the one after that, the middle of May, you're going to have to find out electronically using SharePoint then.
Correct.
Great. Okay, anything else you'd like to share with us today?
Just thanks again for the opportunity to be here.
Okay, great. And you did see on the video clip that Cliff's number and Bonnie's number and my phone number are all on there. If you're having any issues accessing your payroll information using SharePoint, please give one of us a call before Friday the 13th. That's another session of Jargon Slayer. It's been finished for today. Look forward to seeing you next week.